Welcome back to the Holy Grail with Larry Vaught and Janet Granham. I'm Alan Cutler. Kentucky lost on senior day, as everybody knows, 72-66. And let's start talking about the seniors. Janet, D.A., Derrick Anderson, what is the one impression you'll have of him if you're thinking about him 10 years from now?
Just delightful to deal with. In newspapers you need to have quotes, and he gives the greatest quotes.
He's a reporter's dream, Larry, isn't he?
He's got a great personality, and I think what I'm going to remember is how much his team missed him, and it probably may cost him a chance to win a national championship because of what happened to him.
He is very, very thoughtful, more so than the average, I don't want to say jock, but all right, the average jock.
It's amazing the insights that he comes up with and just the phrasing. He was saying the other day that he wants to get into movies, and I could definitely see him directing, producing, or acting. All
right, off the top of your head, real quick, can you think of another cat, football or basketball, that was more thoughtful in all the years you've covered Kentucky?
Not right off but there's been a lot of good ones.
Sure.
I mean, Kyle Macy was real good. I enjoyed Kyle Macy and Kenny Walker. I always thought Kenny Walker was real good.
Well, you're old enough to remember
right.
Kyle Macy. How about you, Janet, in the 5 years you've been covering Kentucky?
It'd be hard to say. Maybe Travis Ford. He was usually pretty insightful as well.
Good choices all the way. Well, everyone knows that Derrick Anderson is one of my favorite cats for his maturity both on and off the court. A couple of years ago, and we've told this story, when the Cats lost to North Carolina in the NCAA tournament and Anderson was sitting out, he worked on the attitude of everyone because he thought the team was awful when it came to attitude. He brings a smile, and a man who brings a smile to us is Ryan Lemon, who has more on DA on senior day, right?
Hey, thanks, Cut. We're here with a couple of True Blue fans who went to the game. Not real happy today, but what did you think about the game today?
It was pretty good till the very end.
It was exciting, really, if you just take away the final.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing, though. I'd like to have seen him get some revenge.
Well, maybe we can CC tournament. What do you think?
Hopefully. I think we will.
Will they get beat the rest of the year? I'm predicting undefeated the rest of the season. What do you think?
Yeah, undefeated. Yeah.
Undefeated the rest of the season. Now, I want you to listen to this story because we're going to ask you your favorite Derrick Anderson memory. You guys were talking about Derrick Anderson. He came here after 2 years at Ohio State, and really, we feel a little cheated that we didn't get to see Derrick for 4 years. He sat on the bench for 1 year and only played a year and a half this year. So True Blue fans would have liked to see a little bit more of D.A. Senior day was a bittersweet one for Derrick Anderson. This was supposed to be a special day for the senior guard. But not only did South Carolina beat Kentucky, the injured Anderson had to sit and watch from the sideline.
No, that's not ruined. You still have your memories. Ups and downs, the way life is. You don't forget life, so I just think I enjoyed every part that I've been here, and it's just something we have to overcome.
Anderson seems to echo the thoughts of his guardian, George Williams, who joined him on the Rupp Arena floor for senior day.
I'd rather see Derrick the better person than the athlete. So I've got to be tremendously proud of what he's done as a person and as a human being. I think he's a greater person than he ever will be a ball player. So if you think he's a good ball player, just think how I think he is as a person.
Anderson has become a crowd favorite in his 3 short years at UK, and True Blue fans were a little sad to see him go. I guess it's no secret who your favorite player is, huh?
No, it's no secret.
Is it going to be kind of tough to see him go today?
Yeah, well, it was tough, a few weeks ago when he left, actually, tougher than today. I'm anxious to see him come through the hoop today. It's senior night.
Well, as much as Anderson fans wanted to see him play in his final game at Rupp Arena, this is as close as he got to the action. 3-game warm-ups.
It's something to remember, no matter how this game, if we'd have won by 40 or lost by 40, I'd always remember the good times. They beat us, but we won a championship, and, that's something I can always look back on because I wasn't able to play, but yet and still we have the rest of this season to go on and maybe make something of it.
Okay, Derrick Anderson, what's your favorite Derrick Anderson memory while he was here at UK?
Just always watching him play. It just seemed like he gave up so much to come here, and then it was just such a disappointment that happened.
How about you?
Yeah, the same. You never heard a bad word from him, and he was just so upbeat, and I hate to see him sit out this long. And I hope he gets to come back for the tournament.
Me too. And my favorite Derrick Anderson memory happened off the court. Media day this year, he had this big yellow wig. Matter of fact, it kind of looked like your hair, Alan, if I'm not mistaken.
No, actually, he told me he borrowed it from you. Time to take a break. When we come back, one of the tougher cats, Anthony Epps, live from the Holy Grail. We'll be right back.
Your injuries are much more
serious. This injury will require extensive therapy.
Workman's comp does not
I'm sorry, but once you use up those sick days, they're gone.
What are we going to do?
If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident or has become disabled, you need an experienced attorney for maximum possible results. Call me, Shirley Cunningham. I've worked hard all my life to beat the odds, and I can help you do the same.
Get some peace of mind, get Shirley Cunningham on your side.
At our 168-hour sale, prices are slashed. Our entire stock is just $1.68.
What's your number gonna be for pick 3? It'll hit ya. Lots of winners every day when you play pick 3 from Kentucky Lottery. Somebody's gonna win. Might as well be you.
Shopping for a new home will never be the same again. RE/MAX Associates have long been real estate leaders across the continent. Now RE/MAX is leading the way in technology too. When you contact RE/MAX on the internet, we'll take you home shopping anywhere your dreams command. Around town or around the world. We're putting the power of RE/MAX where it belongs. At your fingertips. RE/MAX, the hometown experts with a world of experience.
After a long, rough night, the last thing you need is an even rougher morning. But Super America can give you a head start. Whether your choice of fuel is Super America's 93 octane with Injector Guard Plus, freshly brewed 100% gourmet blend coffee, or a freshly baked Supermom's muffin, you'll make it to the finish line in record time. Super America. When it comes to giving you a super start, we never stop.
Welcome back to the Holy Grail. This is Defending the Crown with Ryan Lemon without his wig. I'm Alan Cutler. The food here is marvelous. You know, if they ever took the outtakes of what happens before, during, and after the show when we're not on the air, we're always stuffing our face. Ryan, the food is marvelous. You want to explain some of the stuff here? Because I know if you don't explain it, you're going to be eating.
I am going to eat it as soon as we're done. I mean, this is the best reason to come down to the Holy Grail. I mean, the food. Look, we got the Mexican burger with onion rings, and I'm going to eat that as soon as we're done.
Okay.
Hot wings and cut. They've got what they call the Chernobyl hot wings. They're like, 3 Mile Island type hot wings.
You know, you can smell the hotness just going like this.
Okay, you eat those.
Ooh.
Loaded down nachos. We're going to have that. We've got the Pub Club here. We've got the IPA beer, and those are kind of what they're famous for. It's the blueberry beer. These blueberries actually float around in there, and they're kind of dead. Kind of like Kentucky did today, don't they?
They call this Wild Blue Yonder. Bad joke.
Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Hey, Ryan
leave.
said that, not me. Off the top of your head, what is the one thing you remember about Anthony Epps as you stick something in your mouth?
Well, last year when they won the national
Anything to stop him
championship,
from eating, folks.
when they won the national championship and they had that parade for him down at Marion, and he walked into that gymnasium at his high school, and they were cheering. I mean, you could tell he really got emotional, tears in his eyes. That's my favorite Anthony Epps memory.
Suzanne Farmer spent a lot of time with the Epps, especially his mom, as she's gone to Marion County a number of times. And Suze, today, E had his daughter with him, and she is just gorgeous. Tell us about your day with the Epps.
Oh, she was adorable. She's 20 months old, and she had on her little Kentucky cheerleading outfit, and I was sitting with Anthony and his daughter in the stands, and she was looking at the UK basketball program and pointing to her daddy, going, "There's Daddy, go Daddy." But I couldn't get her to actually talk on camera. She was a little camera fried, just a little bit. But you know, she had a very good seat for the game, but lots of Anthony Epps fans couldn't get into Rupp Arena to get a good seat, so they enjoyed the next best thing.
I'm glad he's graduating from Hastings Lee, Kentucky.
With his grandmother and his mother standing beside him and holding his 20-month-old daughter, Michaela, Anthony Epps said goodbye to his days at Rupp Arena. So did you get a little teary-eyed? Tell me how you were feeling out there.
I did. But I've been strong for him because he was on the verge of it, too.
Oh, could you tell?
Yeah.
No tears in this room, though. Just lots of happy Anthony Epps fans. Talk about fans! There are 200 people in here, all from Lebanon, all from Marion County, who couldn't get tickets to today's game, but are cheering on Anthony Epps, their hero.
Well, last year we went to Syracuse, and after winning the game, Jimmy Higdon and myself talked and said that we wanted to go ahead and rent the ballroom at the Hyatt for Senior Day next year because of us having a Marion County boy on the team.
So you couldn't get a ticket to today's game?
No, I couldn't get a ticket today. But this is more fun anyway.
Next best thing is
right.
So do you hope to grow up and be maybe the next Anthony Epps one day?
Yeah.
But unfortunately for True Blue fans, this is one Senior Day they'd like to forget.
But I think Anthony should have played more because he probably would have brought him back quicker if he'd kept him in the game longer. I don't like it when he don't keep him in the game.
We really hate to see his time coming to an end because, you know, we love Kentucky, but he's made it much more enjoyable.
And I think all the seniors have made this year so enjoyable, and we'll never forget it. Look at little Cocky here. I got this when I went to the South Carolina game in Columbia. So what does this do to you to see this ugly mascot?
I think it looks like a dork.
A dork? What do you think about the little Cocky?
Very, very ugly.
Very ugly? And what do you think?
It's stupid.
Stupid! That's what we like to hear. Boo! We like the Wildcat better. Bye, little Cocky. Sorry, Alan, we had to get mean to little Cocky. He was not good to us today. Bad, 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 bad.
Susie, I think we should get some fans who aren't so shy with their opinions. It was kind of strange after the game when Kentucky lost. There was supposed to be a ceremony honoring the best Cats and the best senior and everything else, and Pitino didn't want to do it and didn't want to come out for a while. He had to calm down before coming out to have a little ceremony for Ron Mercer because it was Mercer's last game. Mercer's had a very interesting career. One of the reasons why he came here is because he wanted to wait. He didn't want to be the man. And this year, he was going to be second string in the second part of the air pair with Derrick Anderson and Mercer. But then D.A. lost his wings. Mercer had to be the man, and he has stepped up. But Mercer was honored after tonight's game.
Nah, I mean, I prefer our seniors to go out on a good note. I mean, you really can't. No, it's kind of tough. It's hard.
Yeah, it really is hard. Janet, what was your opinion of Mercer, especially since the Villanova game? It's like he's been a different player for about 4 weeks.
It's like he's just taken over this team. It's really amazing. He just decided he wanted his national championship. I think he made up his mind at that point he was going to go pro, and he didn't feel like last year's was definitely his national championship, and I think he still wants it.
Even though without his shooting against Syracuse, Kentucky wouldn't have won it. It's kind of interesting how he stepped up and been the man, even though he's kind of denying it, but he's done it.
That's right. That's not a role I don't think he handles real well, but he knew if this team was going to go anywhere, he had to do it, and thank goodness today that he did. The game wouldn't have been close without Mercer. Still the most humble kid to be so talented I think I've ever been around.
You know, I might agree with that. The other thing is, aren't you all surprised that he keeps on talking about the national championship all the time when you ask him? He's not shy about that.
No, he really wants it. I think he's willing to do almost anything, and even today, I thought, you know, like Larry said, they wouldn't have been close if it hadn't been for him.
Well, we're not close to being gone. We've got much more coming up. We'll talk about a senior who is underrated at times, Jared Prickett. Live from the Holy Grail, where we're eating food in commercial breaks. I'm Alan Cutler. We'll be back.
What do all these people have in common? They're all getting discounts on their auto insurance from Allstate. So, who's your insurance agent?
For all your insurance needs, call Bob Bailey, your Lexington Allstate agent at 266-0654, across from Walmart next to Kroger on Richmond Road.
Being in good hands is the only place to be.
Your injuries are much more serious. This injury will require extensive therapy.
Workman's comp does not
I'm sorry, but once you use up those sick days, they're gone.
What are we going to do?
If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident or has become disabled, you need an experienced attorney for maximum possible results. Call me, Shirley Cunningham. I've worked hard all my life to beat the odds, and I can help you do the same.
Get some peace of mind, get Shirley Cunningham on your side.
When you're styling, when you're styling, when you're styling, when you're styling, the whole world smiles with you. Smiles with you. And when you're laughing, oh, you're laughing, and the sun comes shining through.
No nonsense, no appointment, no hassle haircuts.
Smiles with you.
That's what people want. Supercuts. Every time.
In an effort to improve the driver's peace of mind, every certified pre-owned Lexus comes with anti-lock brakes, a driver's side airbag, front and rear crumple zones, and a security blanket. Lexus certified pre-owned cars. You'll find these pre-owned values only at the Lexus store of Lexington.
Welcome back to the Holy Grail. I'm Alan Cutler. Those nachos are mine when this show is over. Kentucky lost one, 72-66. We all know that. This is senior day So we're talking about the seniors. You know, at times, Jared Prickett can drive us nuts because he misses so many easy shots right underneath the hoop, but he still hits half of his shots. And because he misses some of those crips throughout his career, we sometimes forget that he plays tough defense. He's very calm. He's very cool. And before the game, Rick Pitino said he's never had a player who's worked harder in practice every single day than Jared Prickett. A couple years ago, I asked Gary Johnson to go to West Virginia to meet with the Prickett family, and he has a special feeling about them. So Gary spent the day checking out the Pricketts. Gary?
Well, I tell you what, Alan, you know, the Pricketts, they've been coming to Rupp Arena for about 5 years now. They have to travel all the way from Fairmont, West Virginia, just to see a game every time they wanted to see Jarrett. It takes about 4 or 5 hours from Fairmont to Lexington on the road, and not because of the weather, but this time it took them 9 hours to get to Lexington. Why? Because their car broke down on the interstate, but they finally made it to see Jarrett play his last game at Rupp Arena.
It's been a nice ride for the Prickett family over the last 5 years, and when the 1992 West Virginia Player of the Year ripped through his senior banner, it put a fitting cap on Mr. Hustle's career at Kentucky.
Yeah, senior day, you know, I've had a lot of memories here. It's been a great time. I miss all the fans and all the players a lot, and, you know, it's been a great career for me.
For the last 5 years, the Prickett family has rarely missed a basketball game where Jared was playing at UK, and they, like Jared, thought his UK experience was just what they had hoped it would be.
Be thankful that he was in a #1 program. He has really learned a lot, and I think it's going to benefit him in the future.
We've met a lot of people down here, and they've treated us real well. He couldn't have picked a better institution to come to.
And oh yes, Jared's sister Brooke and his girlfriend Shirley May have also been there for Jared's up and down career at Kentucky.
Well, the past 5 years, I've just enjoyed coming down to Lexington. I love Lexington. I love coming down and watching the games, and I'm really going to be upset that it's over, and I can't believe this is my last time here.
Tell me what goes through his mind when he plays basketball, because I know you know.
He is really focused. I mean, he's really into the game. Like I always say, do you think about me while you're out there? He's like, no. I am completely focused on what's going on. He's a real team player, I think.
And even though senior day didn't end the way it was scripted, Jared Prickett, the team player, was sent off with class. And the fans showed the UK bruiser their appreciation.
You know, it's kind of funny. We see Shirley May, Jared's girlfriend there. She doesn't think he's going to make it to the NBA. She thinks he's going to play ball somewhere in Europe, and she prefers playing in Italy because she's probably going to go with him.
Now learn to speak Italian. I think Jared has a shot being an extra guy. What's wrong with sitting on a bench and making $300,000?
I'd take
Are you
it.
kidding? All right, let's go around the horn. Suze, you first. Do you think today's loss will help or hurt Kentucky down the road?
I think it's going to help. I really do. I don't think that I don't think South Carolina can beat us 3 times. Cats, third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm, Gare.
Well, I think Kentucky, if they establish some kind of inside game, first of all, and I don't think Kentucky's strong enough to have a bad game and play a team and still win. It's going to be a tough year when it comes down the stretch.
Well, they better shoot better. Ryan, what do you think?
Undefeated. The Cats will not lose a game the rest of the season.
You say it every time.
Every show.
Shannon Graham of the Cincinnati Post, what do you think?
I think it'll help because it's pointed out a few weaknesses to the coaching staff, and I think they'll work to correct those.
Larry Vaughn, the Danville Advocate Messenger.
I think it might hurt because this team is so fragile, and they have to play with a lot of emotion and confidence. I think this may shake them a little bit.
All right, just in unison, can Kentucky win it all? Yes or no? Loud or no? Yes? Yes?
Maybe.
No?
Undefeated.
One yes.
Rest of the season.
Ryan says that all the time. We're eating food. We have some ahs, some yeses, some no's. We've had some fun. Thanks for everyone on the station for helping out on the show, and everybody at the Holy Grail. Let's give them a hand. The food is marvelous.
Yay.
I'm Alan Cutler. We'll be all over Memphis in the Southeastern Conference Tournament. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Give me that food back.